Welcome. Today I'm going to be sharing a planning video with you today and sharing all the curriculum coming up for this semester that we are using for my 7th grader. And I did a video a few weeks ago about our homeschool planning for the 2025 school year and how I really needed to simplify, and I'm going to share some thoughts on that with you. But it was because of all the things we have going on in our family. So I really just need to step back and not have a lot of add-ins, a lot of extras. So I will link that below, but I am going to go ahead and show you what we are planning here for this 7th grade 2025 year. Welcome to my channel, Learning with Boys. My name is Rachel. I am a homeschool mom. I have 4 boys and I've graduated 2. And this school year, I have a 7th grader and another senior. Today, I'm going to be talking about my 7th grader as I am planning out the rest of this semester. I need to simplify with my 7th grader as much as possible. I want to be realistic in our goals here. I am wanting to try to keep everything within a 4-day a week. Our core curriculum, which is Heart of Dakota, is 4 days a week. And I think we will do some Bible and math on that 5th day. I just feel like that we're going to work, see how that goes. I wanted to share just my thoughts and my planning. If you have not been following along, hopefully this will be helpful to you. I also want to mention that I will be doing some videos about middle school. I just have a lot of brainstorming going on in my mind, and I want to share that with you. So I'll probably be doing that over the next couple months, different things that relate to middle school and our thoughts as we are wanting to prepare them for high school. And if you enjoy homeschool content, I would love for you to subscribe by joining us. I really do hope to be honest with homeschool curriculum reviews and just helpful in showing you how we plan out things and just being realistic with each and every day, each and every week, how each child is different and how we can give them the best education. So today I am just going to give you a real quick overview of the curriculum that I am planning in his planner, which is a very simple Walmart calendar planner, but it's been great and it's easy for him to follow. I am going to just start out with sort of how our schedule goes. We're sort of just in a routine of what subjects are done when, especially the first few, which is Bible, grammar, and math. We try to get those out of the way because our history is more of a Charlotte Mason where you can sit down and read and do a few things. His science, he can enjoy that any time of the day, and I'll talk about why there. So for his Bible, this past semester, he was using Bible Truth from BJU, and it went really well. So I was really up in the air. I actually took the Bible Truths Level B, which is Old Testament. The one he did last semester was New Testament. And at my first glance at it, I was like, I just don't know. I feel like it's a little bit more. I feel like one might be 7th and one might be 8th. I'm not sure they actually do them in one year, but maybe. So I looked at it, but when I got into the 2nd and 3rd chapter, I was like, I think he can do this. So I am scheduling this out. I only have the student book. It's an old version. It's on our shelf. And I am just scheduling out a read a day, and there's Bible reading each day with that. So if you're interested in looking in those, I can show you, and I can show you how I schedule them. But like I said, they are an older version, and I don't have the teacher's guide or anything like that. So he's just at an age where he can be pretty independent, and they're really just going through the stories of the Bible. So, and they do give a little background of different things like, what Egypt was like back then and what it's like today. Just little tidbits here and there they will mention. So that's sort of neat. So that is for his Bible. For his math, he is finishing up the very first book of Learn Math Fast. And we pretty much finished the book except a couple tests. And we are just taking our first week back as a slow week and just trying to make sure that we are exactly where we want to be before we start that 2nd week and having everything finished up. So, and it's a good review for him before he starts this 2nd book, which is going to be fractions, decimals, and percentages. I was sort of looking at it. I'm excited. I don't know. I'll have to let you know I think for a lot of kids, that's where they run into the trouble, is with the fractions. So we'll see how that goes, and I will let you know. He has done some of this before. We used Matthew C, and so he is familiar with fractions, but he was familiar with all the other stuff he struggled with too. So, which so far this has been really, really helpful in helping things stick. So we will be finishing that. I am not going to write that for sure in the schedule. And like for the Bible, I wrote down exactly what pages I wanted him to do. I actually did a whole month out for that because I feel like if we stick with anything, I want him to do that every morning. But for his math, I don't like to go too far ahead because if he needs to work on a lesson an extra day, I want to be flexible with that. So now for his language arts, we are doing language lessons for living. And I just did a review video for this, and I will link that below if you are curious what our thoughts are so far. Now, I feel like I did that video, but I'm going to have to probably do another one at the end of the school year because it always gets a little deeper, you know, and they're in 7th grade and how much further it goes in. But this is a 5-day-a-week program. And in the video, I talked about one of the days was a worldview day, talking about the things of the Bible. They were getting into the different books of the Bible and giving a little history on them. And I decided to go through, my thought was, I think I'm going to tear out those pages because they were usually on day 4. So you'll have to watch my video to see sort of my thoughts on why and what I was going to do. But I thought I would go ahead and pull out the pages, and I thought, well, I'll hang on to them because it's really good information. And maybe I could use them, you know, through the summer, or maybe I could even do them on Friday. I don't know. But then as I was pulling them out, I started realizing that lesson 20, it started talking about Bible analysis, character, antagonist, and then the next week it was characterization. The next week it was point of view. So on week 23, you're talking about the settings, talking about a little bit about settings for the Bible. And then the next week, and I haven't gone any further, this was lesson 24. I haven't pulled out any more than that. It was the Bible conflict. So they're definitely adding in some literature components and terminology, which I'm very interested in him being familiar with. We haven't done a lot of that. So I will let you know maybe when I do an update in another month or 6 weeks if I add this in. I may even skip to that specifically, and however long they do that for, it may only be like a 6-week thing. So I don't know. But I just wanted to let you know that because I did do a review on this and told you that I was not going to add in the worldview, which when I do the grammar itself, I'm not. I'm just going to do it the 4 days a week, and I'm going to keep these pages pulled out. So I will let you know if I add that now or if I decide to do something with it later. So I just wanted to make a note of that. So those are the 3 main subjects that we get done usually first thing. So then we have our history. So a bulk of our curriculum is from the Heart of Dakota. We are doing Early American History, Revival to Revolution, and he'll be on week 17. He actually is finishing 16 for his very first day starting, and then we'll jump into 17. Now this is a 4-day-a-week program also, so we'll be able to finish 17 that first week and then just jump into our 4 days a week that I'm hoping will go as planned. But with that, there is Living Books because it is a Charlotte Mason style curriculum. And we finished up last semester with one of our main spines, which was the George Washington from Janine Foster. And I talk about that last semester in some of my videos. He is probably going to finish up this book pretty quickly, The Story of Napoleon. There's a few more books that I will share with you each time I update. And he will also be using this book, Hearts and Hands, History Lives. There's a few stories I see coming up like about William Carey and Elizabeth Fry. So that will be, so it's sort of back and forth. And then there'll be another spine after we're finished with this one. Okay, so they also have a read aloud. And that can last anywhere from a week to 3 weeks. The book they're going to start on this semester is Seaman, the Dog Who Explored the West with Lewis and Clark. And this is actually a pretty thick book. I went ahead and wrote down just a schedule in the front. It's in this guide. I love Heart of Dakota and how it's laid out. So I think I just did that for myself because he sometimes reads ahead. So it'll help me to see exactly where he's at when I'm looking at the guide and where he's supposed to be, because sometimes he'll read ahead. I don't know. Do you have one like that? So we're excited about that book. We actually read the first chapter and it sounds really, really good. So that is something. They also have a lot of other enrichments like poetry and state study, and he is working on that very slowly. And the state study for this particular guide is the 50 States Under God. And we have really enjoyed this, but with everything else we have, it ends up sort of getting put on the back burner. So what I was doing was, this was one of the Friday things that he would get done, but I'm going to see about putting it on. There's usually a light day with his history that I might add it in to whatever that day may be. And it's almost different every week. So we'll see how that goes. And I have done a video, like a look through on that. Not really a review yet, but I'm going to do a review towards the end of the year. So I can link that below also. They also do have, this is a full box curriculum. So there's Bible and math and language arts, but we are using our own, but it also gives you that option in the scheduling. He does have Bible scripture memory in here, and we are following that one, which is Hebrews chapter 11. He also has a research he does once a week, and we are keeping up with this, which is the Signers, and it's the 56 stories behind the Declaration of Independence. And this is just once a week, and there's 2 signers that he talks about, and I actually pulled out the page for this coming week. So you're supposed to cut them out like cards and then write 4 interesting facts as you read it. But I've just kept them in his notebook, 3-ring binder notebook. And he also does have notebook pages, which is in a 3-ring binder, but I pulled out the pages for this week. He has a written narration he will do. He has timeline that he keeps. Every week they have these 3 boxes for a timeline and other things that he will work on. He also has some geography. I had this one pulled out specifically because that is what is needed. They also are using a geography, which is usually the one they use. Sometimes it might be something from the notebook pages, but usually it's these maps from MapQuest. And they have the student ones that they fill out, and then they have the teacher ones that they look at to fill out. And I've talked about this a lot in my past videos, but that's all scheduled in the guide. Now, I do write it down in the notebook. The read about history, the story time, and whatever he will have that day. Okay, I wanted to jump over here because this is where he does his science. He is using exploration education, and this is the standard physical science. They do have an advanced one, but this is 3 days a week, and this is the student logbook. He will read what's on the computer. Sometimes there's a video, there's explanations of the experiments, which he has on this cart. So I wanted to share this thought too. Like, he has this box that has all of his experiments in it. And on the top part of the cart, he has a lot of just the supplies. He has batteries and paper clips and scissors, and some of the stuff that was already in the box is on here too. He has tape and glue. It's just everything he needs, which is really nice. And he can just roll this around. Sometimes it's over here, sometimes it's on this side. He just finished up talking about how a compass works. Now, like I said, this is 3 days a week, so that works really well when I'm trying to do 4 days a week. He is probably a week and a half or 2 weeks behind in this, but if I just keep making the flow a 4-day a week, he'll be caught up to where he needs to be. And I'm really not overly worried about it. He really enjoys it, so I know he'll finish it up. So he is talking about magnetisms right now. There's like different sections and units, or whatever you would like to call them. He's talked about forces in motion, machines and energy, and he just finished up electricity, and he really, really liked that one. But he has enjoyed the magnetism so far. And then there's chemistry, mixture compounds, sound, and light that he still has to do. So I just wanted to let you know that this is what his science is, and it's going really well. I have done a video towards the beginning that was pretty basic because we hadn't been into it too far, but I will link that below. But hopefully towards the end of the year, I'll do a better review at the end of the school year. So just wanted to share that with you. Okay, so you might be wondering, Rachel, how are you really simplifying? You're still doing everything. I am going to try to cut it down to 4 days a week. And I feel like, even like for the example, the state study that he was working on, I want to fit that in a different day. For myself, need the Friday off in this season, and I know it would be helpful just for our family all around. And this is a 4-day-a-week program. There's a lot of extra enrichments in here that we are not doing. And there's a couple in there that I was planning on doing. So we're not doing the independent study. Now there's also a biblical worldview. We are not doing that. We are not doing every single thing in the notebook pages. We're just doing the ones that I showed you, because I feel like those are the most important things. There are several other things that you can work on, but I'm not going to be scheduling those in. So I just had to pick and choose what I felt like was important for the way he learns and what in the season that we're in. So I just wanted to share that thought with you. I do appreciate you all watching. If you have any questions about any of the curriculum, I know I have videos on most of it. I will link what I have below. If you have any questions about something specific, please comment below. I'd love to speak to you. I also have an account over on Instagram. A lot of people have asked me questions over there. If you feel more comfortable about that, that would be great also. I'll try to answer you. I may not see it right away, but I will try to get to you and answer that. All right, I do want to remind you that I'm going to be doing some videos, brainstorming through those middle school years. I'm going to try to share some of those over the next couple months. So again, if you are interested in those, please subscribe. And if this video is helpful, please give it a thumbs up. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and we will talk to you again soon.